question number 10. Question number 10 is all about tables. All right. So this has got a big section. So we just maybe do one or two parts of the question today. So I'm coming to question number 10, starting with the first part of question 10. Okay, you should be able to see the question on your screen now. It says, class schedule 1, convert the text starting with mornings and ending with Tai Chi 8 p.m. into a 2-column table, auto-fitting the contents to the window and separating the text at tabs. What he's telling us to do is to convert some text into a 2-column table. Let's open this file. Perfect. So now you can see some text which has been typed. Correct? Now, tell me one thing. You can see this morning's written and this class and the time, yoga and 6 a.m. You can see there's a big difference of space between class and time, right or wrong? The tab key allows you to push the text from one portion of the page to the other. I want to make you understand that the text has been typed in such a way that the space between the two text matter is created using a tab key. The numbers are automatically in the same line because of the tab key. So I need to convert this text into a table. So I'm going to select all this. I selected this text. And I'm going to go into something known as insert. And instead of choosing a table, I'm going to click the drop down. And there's an option that says convert the text to a table. I'm going to choose convert text to table. It brings up this window asking me the number of columns you want. 2 is what I automatically have got. 33 is automatically come. Number of rows have automatically appeared.
Okay.
Then I've got auto fit behavior. Do you want the fixed column width? That means, do you want the column width to be fixed? I say yes. I want it to be fixed. How is the text separated? The text has been separated using, this is where it comes. So the text has to be separated with tabs in order to convert it to a table. And I say okay.
Okay.
Ye ban gaya table? The reason why this table has moved to the end, when I was creating this table, it asked me a question. Fixed column width. He will fix the column width as per the size of the page. If you want to fix the column width as per the content that you have typed, I will choose auto fit to contents. When I do auto fit to contents, look at my table. So I'm coming to question number 10b now. Resize open class schedule 1. So I'll just open this file. Yeah. And what he tells us to do is, he's telling us to do the other way around. He's saying there's already a table. You convert the table to text. So this is my file. Class schedule 1. It's saying there's another table called hours over here. Convert this table hours. So I will first select this table. And he wants us to convert this table similar to what is on top. Similar pattern. So I select the table. And this time I go to layout. And under layout, I've got convert to text. Here, when I convert to text, he will ask me, how do you want to separate this text? This is something which is again out of your choice. You can choose whatever you want from here. Question says tabs. So I'm keeping it at tabs and I'm saying okay. So here be exactly top jaisa ho gaya. See, if you notice, it's become exactly at top. To 10C. Question number 10C tells us class schedule 1 in the our instructors table, sort the table where the instructors are in alphabetic order. Make sure the instructor specialties stay with each other. Now he's telling me again to go back and sort this table where the instructors are in alphabetic order. All right. And suppose this is my instructors table. Now I'll select the instructor table and I'll do the same thing. I'll go to my layout and I will go to sort. This time it says our instructors ascending. I say okay. And now you'll see the change. It's become alphabetic. And not only that, the text along with it moved. And John ke saath yoga bhi move ho gaya. The next column text also is matching with the first column and moving as per the alphabets. So this is what it is. So this is where he showed us about sorting a table. We have come to question number 10D. This is an interesting aspect of a table. So he says for the our instructors table, set the cell margins to 0.1 inches. So I'm going to open my instructors table and I'm going to select it. So I selected my instructors table and he's telling me to change the margins of this table. So when I go to design, I have various options over here. But in design, margins does not count. Why does design not have margins? Is because margins is considered to be a part of layout. That is why it's not under design. So I will go to layout. And here I've got many options in front of me. Distribute rows, distribute columns. I've got test direction, cell margins. Here it is. Straightforward button called cell margins. If I click on cell margins, it opens up a window asking me, these are default margins. What do you want to do? So I say, okay, I want to change my margins to 0.1 inches for all the 4 sides, top, bottom, left, and right. 0.1 inches. So inches is nothing but the double inverted commas, right? So I put 0.1 with the inches sign. I'm not converting it to centimeters. I'm putting it in inches only. 0.1 inches. So I have सबके लिए डाल दिया, and I will just say okay to it. It says automatically resize to fit contents. I'll say yes. Okay. And there you go. You'll realize that there's a lot of spacing which has happened all around the word Tim, Mark, swimming, and dance. Correct? Already created table hai, and you want to auto fit. Then how do you do it? Correct? I've got an existing table which is designed in this particular manner. And you are saying abhi auto fit karo sir, ye अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, वो एकदम stretched है. Swimming के बाद इतना gap छोड़ा है. So I will select my table, and I have got an auto fit option under layout. Layout के अंदर there is an auto fit button. Here I will say auto fit contents. हो गया? Okay. Now I've given margins to all 4 sides of my table. This is how you can give margins to each cell of your table. There's one more interesting thing when you're working with tables. Under layout, I've got one more option, which is known as distribute columns. When I do distribute columns, both my columns become the same size. See? And our instructors moved from single line to double line. But both my columns now are exactly the same size because I chose distribute columns over here. So here there's a size 3.27 centimeters. So if I select my table and I change this size, both my columns are now of equal size. How you have to work with tables. एक बार आपने table create कर दिया, उसके बाद आपने content डाला. Till you don't put content, you will not know the flow of your table. Huh? You will not know how your table is going to look. After you type everything, then you have to go to layout and work with all these options. 1, distribute columns. 2, distribute rows. So that all your rows are of the same size. Okay. So when I made my rows the same size, now you see all the rows have got the same size. Then you feel it's too broad. You don't want such broad rows. You go here and change the size. Now, once I did distribute rows, and when I select my table and I'm changing the row, all my rows are changing. After you've selected a table, you go to layout and play around with these options of distribute row, distribute column, change the height and width after that based on your requirements. Go to cell margins and do a cell spacing if you want. Okay. All right. You can do that depending on how much margin you want to give around your text. All right. Sorting you can do, which will sort the data based on how you want, alphabetically, ascending or descending. You can decide that. Okay. 10E now. All right. So 10E is class schedule 1. Again, we are working with the same files, obviously. It says for the instructor table, set the cell padding to 0.1 inches. Now, there's a difference between cell margins and cell padding. Now, what does cell padding do actually? Right. So I'm going to open this file, and he says now give a cell padding to the instructor's table. So I select the instructor's table, and I feel like giving a cell padding to this. See, you tell me one thing. This table is made up of boxes, right or wrong? But when you look at this table, do they look like boxes to you, or do they just look like some lines drawn across? So if I want my table to look like boxes, I go into something known as cell margins, and I say allow spacing between cells. And here I give a 0.1 inches ka spacing between the cells. Cells means each box of my table. And I say okay to it. Ab bolo boxes again. Gives the box look to a table, dividing the table into individual small little boxes. Selecting this one cell like this, and I can go and give a background. I can go to the paint bucket and I can give any light shade of color that I want to give, like this. I can go to this, clicking my mouse. Watch, I've just clicked my mouse in the box. I'm not selected anything, and I can give this a light green. See, like this, you can give different colors. See, interesting. Suddenly your table starts looking so colorful and nice instead of a boring black and white table, right? So now the boxes look even more defined. So if you want to create a format like this and make your table look like this, then this is how you're supposed to do it. By giving a cell padding, and you can give a cell padding how much ever you want to give. 0.1 is a decent size padding that we have given. You can give it whatever you want to give it. Yeah. The G question says resize the rows in the class schedule table to be at least 3 inches high. 0.3 inches high, sorry. So we go back to our original text, which we had over here. ये हमारा class schedule text है. ये पूरे text को हम लोग को table में convert करना पड़ेगा पहले. So we select all this text and we shall convert this to a table and we shall do autofit to contents and we shall say okay. तो ये हमारा हो गया table में convert. And then we realize that we want to change the size of all the rows. Correct? So 1 minute. Yeah. This is our table. You should be able to see it now. This table, he's telling us to change the size of the rows and increase it by 0.3 inches. So I go to layout. Again, over here, I've got width and height. Remember, I had shown you this distribution of rows. You can do it from here directly, or you can go into cell size or row ke andar. You can specify the height 0.3 inches. And you can just say okay. और ये देखो हमारा row size increase हो गया to 0.3 inches. Now he says H is also similar only. By mistake double line आ गया है. We go to I then. He says resize the first column of the class schedule table to be 1.5 inches in width. He's saying resize only the first column of the table to 1.5 inches in width. Let's go back to our table. ये हमारा table आ गया. इसका first column. So to do that very simple, I will just take my mouse and it become a black color arrow like this. When it becomes a black arrow like this, I will click it so that the entire column gets selected. So I select the left column. I can go back to my cell size and I can go to column and I can specify the width of it. He gave me a very specific width, 3.81 centimeters. So I'll make it 3.81 centimeters में ही है. And I will just say okay. तो मेरा जो पहला column है उसका width change हुआ. I will split the table into two, morning and evenings. What I'll do is I'll open the table and let's see the table right now. This is my table right now. Morning and evening is together. So, फिर ये बाकी का activities आ गया. So I will click at evening. Okay. After I clicked at evenings, after I go to evenings, I will go into something known as layout. Under layout, I've got split table. It has now become two different tables, morning and evening. A separate, evening is separate. So what I can do is I will select my morning table. I'll go into design, and I've got beautiful table designs, different color combinations, different styles of the tables. See, so many of them are there. I will select morning color. I'll select the blue color, and evening color I will select a orange color or a yellow color. You can select even this one, or select something like this for a change. This looks better. So like this, you can create different colored tables on your page, where each table could be having a color based on the purpose of that table. This is applying table style. This is different than what I did over here. This was shading cells, which I did yellow, green, and pink. Whereas this is applying a style to the entire table. Not only the background, the color of the text also changes. Everything changes if you notice. The whole table has changed. Line ka color change ho gaya, text ka color change ho gaya, background color has changed. In this case, the lines only disappeared. See, in the evening table, beech ka line hi nahi. So each of these patterns are not only reflecting color, but also reflecting the lines, whether they are visible, not visible, and what color should the line come, what color should the text come. Each of them applied differently each time, right? So now I'm coming to question number K, which is set the first two rows of the evenings table to repeat at the top of each page. It is basically a very simple concept, but a very interesting concept that I have got. That's the reason why I did not move the table and kept it continuous. So I've got two pages, the first page and second page, and I've got two tables. And I've got this evening table which is starting from this part of the page. Okay, so I don't want to move this because it will create unnecessary space on my page. So I'm happy with the spacing right now between my tables. It's good enough. But what I want is that when a person goes from the first page to the second page, he should know what are all these lines doing over here. Right now, if you look at it, you'll just say to the core 5 p.m., lower body 5 p.m. Ye cheez hai kya? Don't look at the first page. I will never understand what my second page is trying to tell me, right or wrong? If you, now I'm looking at only this page. Now you tell me, now this doesn't make sense at all. You say, sir, kya hai? To the core 5 p.m., lower body 5 p.m. You'll have to by default scroll to the first page to understand what is it. Then you come to first page and say, "Arey, ye to evenings ka table hai, evenings class or time." So instead of you requiring to scroll from one page to the other, what feature we have got is what we call as repeating the first two rows of our table. So I'm going to select the evenings and I'm going to select the classes. See how I selected it. Yeah? I pressed the shift key and I selected it. Okay. I'll go into layout, and under layout, I have a button known as repeat header rows. As soon as I click this button, automatically two rows will get added and I will have it in the same style and it will make a lot of sense. Yes, makes sense, no? To have this. This is a very important feature because generally you will face this problem. You'll have a very long table which will be flowing from maybe not one page. It will be flowing, let's say 3 pages or 4 pages. All you can do is just repeat your header. So it will repeat on every page. It's not just 1 or 2 pages. How many ever pages a table is on? It will go on repeating on those pages to tell you that this is a part of this particular table. So you'll know exactly what you're reading.